Econet has a lot of money, so I expect them to be able to easily pay their employees and their suppliers. As you know, in Zimbabwe, there is a widespread practice of not paying suppliers and employees. So this is something that I don't expect Econet to be part of. So you can imagine my surprise when I got a call from Gerard, a Zimbabwean based in Ireland, who explained to me that he had had a lot of problems with Econet, who literally stole an idea that he had presented to their senior management, which he had signed a non-disclosure agreement for, and to which he had given access to their senior management. Some time back, he gave a call to Econet management. He wanted to request for an API. So that is software which enabled Zimbabweans based overseas to make bill payments in Zimbabwe can be able to use the EcoCash platform. So this is standard practice all over the world. However, Econet management at that time, particularly Jimmy Shindi, expressed interest in the idea, and Gerard and his team pitched the idea to Jimmy Shindi and the other Econet staff involved in these discussions include Matthias Yanganai and Mnyaradzi Namo. Econet were given access to the software, and they looked around in the software and made some suggestions. Based on these suggestions, Gerard and his team made some changes onto the software. At this point, Econet, through Jimmy Shindi, expressed an interest in buying the software. So Gerard was not willing to sell this software, and they communicated this to Econet. The business model that Gerard had in mind was a revenue sharing model where Econet would make some money from the transaction while they also made money from the transaction. At this point, Econet suggested that Gerard should sign a non-disclosure agreement, which he did, and he sent it to Econet. To his surprise, this is the last time he heard from Econet. Econet went quiet. They no longer communicated with him. They no longer responded to his emails. A disappointed Gerard decided to fly to Zimbabwe. So at his own cost, Gerard flew to Zimbabwe to try and talk to Econet executives. Unfortunately, that also did not yield anything. So you can imagine Gerard's horror when after about 2 years, he saw that Econet had developed a similar software to what he had pitched to them with a similar feel and look, and which did exactly what he had pitched to Econet management. The only reasonable conclusion was that Econet had taken his idea from the previous discussion and used those ideas to develop their own software in-house to avoid paying him anything and to avoid revenue sharing with him. Now, I want to conclude because to me the story is clear, it speaks for itself. The first point I want to make is that Strive Masiyiwa and Econet need to do more to develop local entrepreneurs and local suppliers. This is a corporate social responsibility, and it is also part of King 4 governance principles. So a company as big as Econet needs to be a good corporate citizen which develops local businessmen. And if you look at South Africa, someone like Patrice Motsepe is doing a lot. Last year alone, Patrice Motsepe gave 6 billion rands to South African education. Cyril Ramaphosa, his company, started the Shanduka Black Umbrellas. These are well known. At the moment, Strive Masiyiwa has paid school fees, he has paid pastors, but he needs to do more for local entrepreneurship. It's a corporate social responsibility. He cannot escape that responsibility. It's something that he needs to do because Zimbabwe needs new entrepreneurs, needs strong small businesses. The second point I want to conclude with is that I know that Strive Masiyiwa personally knows about this issue. I personally contacted his lawyers in Johannesburg and I talked to them. I talked to his chief of staff, Love Monyatsini, and he responded to me, and over a period of 3 weeks, the discussions went nowhere. I wrote an email to Jimmy Shindi and I did not get a response. It is clear that Econet is able to dodge. The small entrepreneur based in Ireland does not have enough resources to chase after Econet. Econet can play hide and seek for years because to them this is just a small product. But to a young entrepreneur sitting in his home, spending almost all his savings to develop a product, and for Econet to take it and use it without any payment, that is unjust. And I wish someone would be able to assist these guys to take Econet to court, because clearly Gerard and his partners have a clear case against Econet. Econet should not go into negotiations with somebody, look into their software, make them make changes, sign an NDA, and then just disappear. And when they come back with a similar piece of software. That is unethical. I know there are many people out there who have similar stories to tell, and some of them have spoken to me. There is obviously a culture problem at Econet. What is your view on this issue? Right, I think I've covered everything I wanted to say. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and share on this post. Like our Facebook page and subscribe to the Love Zimbabwe YouTube channel. If you want to be removed from our WhatsApp channel, please send me the word remove and I will take you off our broadcast channel. I'm no longer adding new people because our broadcast channel is now full. And if I am delaying with responding to your WhatsApp, please call me on WhatsApp because I've got over 2,000 unread WhatsApp messages. It's taking me time to get through to all the messages that have been sent.